We're live.
We're live.
Live in the sun on a Saturday morning. Got the coffee. Got the stems.
Feels good. The stems are going. Nicotine in the mouth side piece.
We got
not me.
We got the extra third of the Robinson clan on the podcast today.
Sure.
We
Glad
do.
to be here.
We got the youngest brother here, Cal Robinson III.
He's living in small town Texas, coming back to the home base for the weekend. Been working a lot, getting ready for football season.
Oh, yeah.
Been dealing with some draft stuff, some recruiting stuff. I guess I kind of want to go right off the rip with the experience with the NFL draft with your buddy last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so Chase Lunt, he was actually on the podcast, what was that, a couple years ago?
A couple years ago.
Yeah, so Chase Sloan, one of my buddies from high school, played right tackle at UConn for the past 4 years. Stud, yeah.
Beast of a man.
Started in 49 games, I think. But yeah, just great guy, great athlete, and so he had his draft party. God, when was that? Two Saturdays ago,
I think.
So I came back down and, was really excited for him and, just the opportunity to get drafted. It's life-changing, obviously. And so we were at the draft party and, I'm sure you guys have seen, the Shedeur Sanders prank calling and, everybody getting prank called. And so, we're sitting there. It's getting towards the end of the fourth round and, Chase gets a phone call and everybody gets quiet and starts listening. And, he gets off the phone and, says, I'm going to New York. And so what...
The Jets or the Giants?
The Giants, sorry.
Giants.
And so, everybody's excited. People, are shedding some tears because, it's a pretty big moment in somebody's life to get drafted. And what the person on the other line had told him was he was going to get... the Giants were going to trade with the Cardinals, I think, who had the last pick in the draft or in the fourth round. And then they were going to draft him with that pick that they traded. And so... They get up to that pick, and everybody's excited, phones out, recording.
You're just watching on TV.
Yeah, we're just
now.
watching it on TV. We're just waiting. And they end up never trading the pick, and so we're like, what the fuck is going on? And so the energy in the room's kind of dead, like everybody's confused. And then, again, it happens with the Arizona Cardinals a little bit later. Same sort of thing. Hey, we're going to draft you here. Then just ends up not getting drafted. And so... everybody's a little antsy. The tension in the room is extremely high. And eventually, probably another hour or two after the second prank call, finally gets a call from Buffalo, and it's actually real. Chase actually was, saying, is this a prank call? I've been prank called twice.
No way.
Yeah, and
Jesus.
So got the call, and then, eventually his name showed up on the TV, and he's heading to Buffalo now. He's actually there right now, so it's exciting stuff.
Which almost seems like, no offense to the New York Giants or the Cardinals, but, speaking about organizations you like to be with, Buffalo seems like they're cream of the crop. Competing for a championship, but great coaching staff, great team identity, great culture. So when he gets these calls, is it like, hey, I'm John Smith, director of personnel, who with the prank calls, did anyone identify themselves or...
I think so. I honestly don't know exactly, but I know there's always somebody that, will call you. I think it's like a set person for every team that, handles the phone calling.
Yeah.
And, they'll state their name, their position, and then I guess they impersonated a select person from each organization. But yeah, it's kind of
a problem.
Up. Yeah, it definitely is. It's something that needs to be fixed for sure.
You got to think about it, too. It's like you can't afford to have every single team be in contact with every single player. So when you get that phone call, I feel like most of the times you don't even know who this person is.
Yeah.
So it's easy to believe a faker.
And there's a lot of times where a team, there's a lot of times where a team that you might have had one interview with, and they end up calling you, and drafting you, and so they need to establish something that. So there's
talk about they need to.
Are just terrible.
We should come up with this invention,
like a technology or something where they only have
draft
a
portal.
burner phone that can only be called by this number and this person. It's getting a little out of hand.
Yeah,
that's an emotional roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
It's also I mean, kind of going back to the big story, because it seemed like people were only really focusing on the Shedeur Sanders prank call when, one, this had been happening for a few years. It wasn't the first year people have been prank called.
Yeah, happens every year.
But, of course, with Shedeur, it gets a lot more national media attention to the point where Jax Ulbrich, who's the son of the Atlanta defensive coordinator,
Former Jets coach.
interim head coach, they fined him $125,000, and like people are saying like this kid needs to go to jail.
Yeah,
and just which sounds ridiculous. Like obviously he fucked up and should not have. It's so stupid when you think about it. But
he was just in the room, right? He wasn't the caller.
Yeah, but apparently he went and took the information from his dad's computer to get the phone number of him.
Oh,
so like mishandling of sensitive information is one thing, but yeah, to film yourself doing it,
what a dumb.
That's just a bonehead.
Yeah,
that's so
and then
stupid.
Posting it on Snapchat or whatever. It's just
so stupid.
You know you're gonna get caught, especially if you're the son of the Falcons DC.
Yeah, but they were like, this kid needs to go to jail. It's like,
all right, calm down.
Prank call, but yeah, super. So what? I guess has Chase kind of told you what the camp season looks like, or what's kind of the next few steps for him?
Yeah, we've been talking a little bit. I know he's super busy, but I think every NFL team right now is in their rookie minicamp series or whatever you want to call it. But I think he'll be up there for a couple of weeks, and then they'll get into OTAs, which is where the full team is there. It's not just the rookies.
Yeah.
But I know he's up there. I think he's staying in a hotel and just grinding every day. Yep, already getting reps, and so
that's so crazy.
It's exciting for him.
Go from like
awesome.
Not being on an NFL team to a few days later you're already practicing with them is pretty wild.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a culture shock for sure.
Yeah, like if you're I guess you're in the locker room and you see like these guys you see on NFL Sunday all the time. Like you see Josh Allen in his locker, like that's weird, man.
Yeah.
You said
like,
he said Josh is pulling up on it. Yeah.
Fuck
you. Sold me.
You fumbled in the end zone again.
Yeah.
He better beat Mahomes now. That's all I got to say.
Speaking of Mahomes, you had another buddy who signed with the Chiefs, right?
I'm not sure if he signed. No, he hasn't signed, but he got a rookie camp invite to the Chiefs. Yeah, Maurice Blackwell.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. I'm sure it's the same as, Chase doing the rookie camp stuff, but I'm not sure exactly if he's signed or not.
Fingers crossed for all these guys.
Yeah.
It's going into a new situation, having to prove yourself again. And, both those guys are great, so it's going to be some good things. Maybe we'll have them, on our fantasy team, fantasy defense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you can draft a right tackle, but
we'll create the league where we can do it.
Get some insider info. No, but we went to Saddle Rock Wine Bar the other night, which was really cool. And I met this. You never met that guy before,
no,
Zach.
First time.
He's a cool dude, and he's like in the basketball world. He played professionally in Spain for a little bit, which was like, damn. And then he hosts like a mini camp in Greece. All these NBA guys. So we get to talk about, Luka and everything. And he's like, yeah, I was talking with Spencer Dinwiddie the other day. And I'm like, damn, name drop.
Yeah,
Who was
casual
that
name
trainer
drop.
that he said goes and helps?
Tyler Ralph, I think.
I thought it was like Ryan Hanley or something. I can't remember.
It's a short white guy.
Yeah.
That does like the fast dribbling.
Yeah,
There's
he
a
said he
bunch
works.
of-
He's like Kyrie's trainer or something.
Yeah, he's got ball handling skills for days. But he was saying that Spencer Dinwiddie told him, he's like, Luka does not practice at all.
What?
He said
did not hear that
He
conversation.
said, I think he went to the bathroom. He's like, it's impossible to get him to shoot 10 shots in a row at one spot.
What?
Like, he doesn't practice at all. He's just, he said he'd show up to practice and he wouldn't do any of the drills. And then when they started scrimmaging, he'd just scrimmage.
And just kill everybody?
Yeah.
Is that a good trait or a bad trait? I don't like that. My whole perspective on Luka has changed since the playoffs
There's
ended.
more info that you have to evaluate.
Yeah, it's tough because you love Luka, but man, he does look just so fucking lazy. It pisses me off sometimes. As a LeBron lover, LeBron fan, it's hard to
It's like the opposite of LeBron.
Yeah, it's like, man, you got to sell out for your teammates. And
Yeah.
it feels like he doesn't ever do that. Doesn't play defense, is always – it's like he'll go to contest at the three-point, and then they'll just blow by him every single time. It's
really
hard to watch.
An effort thing. And also, it's like, apparently there's rumors that he's a big hookah guy.
Hookah?
Hookah,
Yeah.
Luka?
And he's drinking beer all the time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, have you seen the clips of him? There's like a trend on Twitter, and it's like Luka pre-American food. And it's his
jeez.
rookie year when he's like super
Skinny.
skinny and dunking on people. And, I mean, he has gained a lot of weight. He just looks kind of – when you're watching him, he just doesn't look –
He doesn't
obviously,
look like he's
he
meant
moves,
to be out there.
Yeah, he moves at his own pace for sure. That's what makes him great, but he just doesn't look like
It's like
the part when
Jokic,
he's out
too,
there.
but
Yeah.
I feel like it's a little bit worse.
I mean, Jokic
Yeah.
is also a 7-footer.
Yeah, he gets away with a lot of stuff.
We need RFK to investigate Luka's diet.
Yeah.
Get in
I
there.
mean,
He's
RFK's cracking down on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It's good.
But, like,
Mhm.
if I was Luka, get with LeBron's personal chef, get with his trainer, and you got 3-4 months this offseason to get in great shape. Like,
Yeah.
he can certainly make it happen, but is
Yeah,
it like
it's
is
the
this
want
something
to.
he wants to do
Yeah.
to be better?
Yeah, because you got to think about, like, he's had so much success doing it the way he's always done it.
Yeah. Imagine
it's-
if he locked in and, like you said, had a summer full of just strict diet, strict training, stayed in America. That's his thing. I think he goes to where's he from?
Slovenia
Slovenia. I think he goes to Slovenia every summer.
plays
every
their
off season, and so
international ball.
He's got to get a new routine. There's probably going to be some pressure on him to perform because he's due
Yeah,
for a
LeBron,
contract,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
the
he
the
is.
Supermax. Well, you can't even get the Supermax.
Why? Because he didn't make, like, first-team All-NBA?
That might be it, but I thought it was because he's only eligible for that on the team that drafted him,
Oh, interesting.
the Supermax. I don't know the full details, but you think we see a Luka six-pack photo this summer?
I'm sure we'll
See.
see some sort of clip on Twitter, Instagram of him in summer shape, or it's the things
It's
you
gonna be
always
like,
see.
Luka's going to be deadly
Yeah.
this year.
It's like that summer where Giannis was in the gym.
Well,
Showing
both of them.
buff as hell.
It's like the Hoodie Mellow or
Oh
the
my
Ben
God.
Simmons.
Oh yeah, the Ben Simmons hype train every freaking offseason.
How is he still on an NBA team?
Dude,
I don't know.
is he the biggest? I
He's robbed
despise
some
that guy.
I think Markelle Fultz. Remember him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
He's out of the.
But he
Wait,
was the
no,
second
no,
round. He
no.
was like a first-round overall
he was,
pick for
he
the
was the
76ers.
first pick, I thought.
Or the Pistons, maybe.
It was him and Jason Tatum in the same draft.
Yeah, it might have been 2 and 3, but Ben Simmons was 1. No.
Yeah, it was Ben Simmons, Markelle Fultz, Jason Tatum, I think. Dude, but Markelle Fultz, he sucked for the first couple of years, and then he ended up finding a role on the Magic, I think.
Yeah, the
A
whole
little
part was
bit.
his injury.
Yeah, he couldn't
Thoracic
shoot.
outlet.
Do you remember his free throw form?
Who? Oh, yeah.
Markelle.
Looked like a
He looked like he just had the yips.
yeah, it looked
Yeah.
weird.
It's like that. Didn't Ryan have that? Ryan Thomas, we're about to play golf with him.
Yeah.
Thoracic outlet.
Yeah, it's like just from repeated overhead motion. So shooting, throwing, catching, and it just places a lot of stress on that nerve, which ends up getting blocked by a rib kind of right underneath your armpit. And so they go in and remove the rib to alleviate the nerve because a lot of people won't be able to hold their hand above their head for 10, 15 seconds before it gets numb.
What?
Wow.
Just because of the nerve. There's no blood flow going to that region. So,
That sounds painful.
yeah, sensitive injury for sure, but certainly something you can recover from.
Yeah. So what's that injury that's been going around with Wembanyama and Dame had
Dame
it before
Dollar.
he ruptured his Achilles? What is it called?
Deep vein thrombosis. So
Yes.
kind of the same thing. It's like repeated overhead motion that leads to some form of like blood clotting.
What?
Yeah, I read something that you can die from that.
Yeah, you can die from it.
Yeah.
And so that's what the whole thing with Damian was because they said that that's what he had, and the protocol was minimum 3-month recovery.
He came back
in 5
fast.
weeks.
No way.
And he ruptured.
And ruptured his Achilles. I didn't even see
man.
that.
Yeah, it was rough. Poor guy.
I will say, when I was watching him come back, I'm like, man, there's no way he could be in shape.
No.
It's like this is his first run, and
then
he
your
looked
first run's
heavier.
in a playoff game.
Yeah.
And against the Pacers of all teams.
I mean, that's the thing with Steph now. It's like, how is he going to keep that conditioning for when he comes back and he
That's what I'm
doesn't
saying. It's
hurt himself even more?
It's hard not to, especially muscle injuries.
I've never had any hamstring problems, really.
Yeah, neither have I.
They're
Thank
rough,
God.
dude.
Knock on wood.
I mean, I strained my hamstring really bad, like my sophomore year of college playing football. And I mean, I was, like, I couldn't walk the day after. Like, it was very painful to walk. And I can only imagine if he's out that long. Like, it took me like a month to recover. Obviously, he has a lot more nicer facilities and technology to get him back faster, but
yeah.
that's not something that you play around with, for sure.
Yeah, like injuries in general, you know, just me having this ankle injury Wednesday, rolled the ankle playing basketball. It's like very minor injury, and I'm pretty much back. Can pretty much do anything now, but it does give you a bigger perspective on, like, just being grateful to move, have your health. And Cal, you went through, we've already talked about it plenty of times, but your big injury, I mean, reflecting back on it, I mean, have you had any more insights on?
Yeah, I mean, kind of like you said, just being thankful that even for the little things, like I couldn't walk for a couple of months, and, you know, that's something that you don't even think about, being grateful to be able to walk every day. And just so little things like that, just feeling healthy, you know, being grateful for the things that, you know, you probably weren't before you got injured. It kind of puts everything into perspective on, you know, sports is one thing, but just being able to function as a human being and being able to walk and, you know, reach down for something and pick it up. And it's just the little things that you don't think about. Showering without the help of your freaking parents when you're 18 or 19 years old. It's a lot of things, but
man.
So I guess with your squad now and your team, let's say you know, a kid that you're coaching does get injured, how would you kind of explain to them, like, the process of getting back, kind of knowing what you've gone through? Do you feel like you got some good advice for some of these younger dudes who may think, man, it's over, or how am I going to get back from this?
Yeah, we had a guy, a freshman wide receiver, get injured pretty similarly to me. Broke his leg, didn't dislocate his ankle, but happened pretty early on. And I remember just telling him that, you know, you just got to accept everything that, you know, comes with it. You know, it's gonna be rough for a couple days. You know, don't run away from it, embrace it, because there's gonna be a lot better days down the road. And so just accepting what's happened to you and using it as, you know, a learning tool, and obviously something that you can get 1% better at every day. You know, it's not going to be, you're not going to make huge strides every single day. It's going to be that little 1% every single day. And so, and just trusting yourself, trusting your abilities before you got injured. You know, it's hard. It's a lot more mental than physical once you get back. That's something that I struggled with a lot. Just being comfortable, you know, planting off the same foot, jumping off that foot, getting hit. You know, that was like going through my mind every single play. And it's just like, that's something that I didn't think about, like, before I got injured.
Yeah.
And so that kind of, when you can't play freely on the football field, it ruins everything. You can't play fast. You got to have no thoughts. Like, when you're running across the middle of the field, you can't be thinking about, man, I might get my head smoked.
Jeez.
And so you got to just play. And if you're constantly thinking about, man, I don't want to step wrong, I don't want to roll my ankle, you won't be successful. And so at that point with me, I kind of had to just realize that and move on.
That's crazy. Yeah, you would think, like, oh, I need to be thinking about everything when I'm playing, and I got to be thinking about all the possibilities, but really, you've trained so much, you just kind of want to let autopilot take in.
You know, that game preparation of that week, you know, obviously seeing coverage and obviously knowing the play, but you should be able to do that with just by looking. You don't need to be thinking.
Well, you're on your way to becoming a professional golfer now. You could play that till you're 100.
Yeah, definitely. I love golf.
Yeah, we're about to play later. You guys excited?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be
great weather.
It's
great weather right now. It's always a good time on the course.
Are we still doing same teams, or I know Ben was getting a little...
No, we're going to stick together.
All right.
Didn't help your bro move this morning. Now I'm on the chopping block.
Well, Cal, I wanted to ask you, too, because I've got, you know, some experience on the recruiting trail and, you know, talking to kids and prospects, and I know that's a lot of what you're doing now at school. Have you noticed any trends or just anything interesting about the way recruiting's going right now with how you interact with kids or where they want to go to school, what they're looking for?
Yeah. So it's a little bit different at the Division III level than at the Division I. We mass recruit, and so we got like our minimum number that we can have on our team is 220 players. And so now
that's so many.
We're at 260, 270 with fucking 35 incoming freshman wide receivers.
35.
So what's going to happen?
What usually happens is a lot of those kids will quit and the numbers will dwindle sort of as the season goes on. But, I mean, yeah, we'll have 40 people in that receiver meeting room the first day, and then, you know, slowly and surely some people quit.
Because maybe for people who don't know, the scholarship scenario for Division III.
Yeah, Division III can't give out any football scholarships. It's only academics. And so that's another thing that's really difficult when I'm talking to these recruits that, you know, might not have the best grades or the ability to pay $20,000 a year. And so it's kind of hard sometimes to sell the place when you can't. There's not like that. Like, you can't just offer a full scholarship. Like, that's sort of.
They're going to have to come out of their own pocket.
Yeah, they're going to have to come out of pocket. And so, getting back to your original question, what's different now is the transfer portal. That is our number one. Like, high school recruiting is kind of on the back burner, whereas transfer portal is the number one priority every single day.
Like, you're trying to get guys who already have experience playing.
Plug in and play. School. We need guys that can come in and immediately affect the team. We don't have time to, you know, wait 2 or 3 years. And don't get me wrong, we still bring in those guys that can develop. But the same thing. I mean, we had 30, 35 guys enter the transfer portal after spring ball ended. And so it's like the development of college football, I think, is over. I think it's right now, where can I get somebody that can come in and play immediately?
Dang.
And that's what a lot of programs that struggle with recruiting are still on what I believe is the process of the development stage, you know, thinking that we can still bring in 50 guys from high school and develop them, and then 3 or 4 years from now they'll start for us. Yeah. And that's just not the way college football is right now. There's, you know, a couple thousand guys in the portal right now. There was like 15,000 the first day it opened.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I mean, we have this software called Verified where we can see all the guys that enter, and, you know, you can just get their Twitter, get their phone number, text them, kind of see where they're at. But, yeah, it's difficult trying to sell something that, you know, you can't really offer a scholarship on.
Yeah.
You just try to sell the program, you know, the tradition, which I think we do a really good job at. But, yeah.
Especially with the past success of the program.
Yeah, a couple national championships, 20-something conference championships. So.
Yeah, because you think, like, when we were going to school, it was like, all right, you know, if you're going to commit to play football, yeah, you may not play your freshman year. You're probably going to get some playing time your sophomore year, junior, senior. Like, you got 2 years to kind of start, and now it's, oh, fuck you, coach. Like, you know, I'm going to go somewhere else and get my chance. And see these guys who they're 27, still playing college football. They've been to 6 different schools, and it's like the legacy of because college football has always been tradition and legacy. It's like you go to be a Razorback, you're going to be a Razorback forever and kind of bleed that red. And now it's, you know, no offense to Will Howard, but, you know, played Kansas State and then transfers to Ohio State, wins a national championship. Is he like a true Buckeye? Maybe, maybe not, but, you know, those are the guys that are winning right now.
Yeah.
Like, I want the homegrown championship.
Yeah, you do miss that aspect of college football for sure.
Like the Tim Tebow. Like, I'm going to fucking grind. Yeah. I'm going to give you everything I have for the 4 years I'm here. And they won 2 natties.
I mean, I don't know much about college football, but it makes me think about, like, the NBA draft. Like the Golden State Warriors, homegrown drafted Draymond, Steph, Clay. And they win the championship that way, and it's just so much sweeter versus when you get like a team and you sign a big free agent or guys team up to win a championship.
Built versus bought.
Built versus bought, yeah.
Like that statement.
But, like, so are these guys that are in the transfer portal, are they actually getting a better opportunity than what they're leaving?
Yeah, I mean, every situation's different. You know, if you're a guy that's at the Division II level, I mean, just an example, there's a Ferris State quarterback which is a Division II school. I'm not sure. I think it might be in Georgia. Anyways, Ferris State quarterback was killing at D2. Amazing stats. I think they ended up winning the Natty at D2 level. But he enters the portal, and now he's at Ole Miss. And so those situations where he's getting paid, $100K from their NIL at least. And so those are the situations where you're like, hell yeah, absolutely, man. Go get fucking paid to play college football. Like, that's just the world we live in. Yeah. And then there's other kids where it's like, all right, you're on your 4th or 5th school. It hasn't worked out in the past 3 years. Maybe you're not or maybe you are the problem, not the school that you're at. And so that's where the transfer portal is. It's hard because, I was a kid that was in the transfer portal at one point, kind of before it got big. But it's like you want those kids to go get paid. Like we had a tight end who, he was great for us, entered the portal, had like 20 Division I offers. Now he's getting his school paid for. He's getting money on the side from NIL.
Wow.
It's like, why? How could you ever be upset at somebody for going to do that? And so that's the part of it that's iffy, just having some kids that, benefit from it, and then there's other kids that don't. And so it's kind of a fine line.
I definitely feel like it's the ethical thing to do is to pay them. Because if you think about it, like what % of college football guys have a major surgery? And then we're talking about CTE too. It's like you're putting your body and health on the line. You should at least get some sort of compensation.
Yeah, I agree. There definitely needs to be regulated at some point because I feel like it is kind of getting. I mean, it's literally like free agency now.
Yeah, it's weird.
They got to do something, but I agree. They definitely should get paid. So we'll see what ends up happening with it, but it's wild.
I'm kind of on the opposite.
You don't think they should get paid?
I think there should be some form of compensation, but like I look at it as, well, I paid my college tuition, still paying my college tuition. Like they're already getting free schooling at $100,000 value on top of free living, free food, free access to all the medical resources there. So to me, that value is good enough.
That's a good point.
Requesting hundreds of thousands of dollars on top of that. Sure, if you got the leverage, then like, who am I to say don't go get your money?
Yeah.
But like, it's kind of eroded college football in a sense because I don't know. It feels kind of gross sometimes.
So the argument with that would be, football is usually the number one money bringer in for every single university.
Yeah.
And so
football coach is going to be making the most.
Yeah.
In the state.
If you're an NFL or if you're a college football player who's, say you're at Arkansas and you're the starting quarterback and you're selling out stadiums every single week, people are buying your jersey, people are, repping Arkansas. Like the reason people are going to games and going to Arkansas, maybe not Arkansas in general, but say like Alabama. Like people are going to Alabama just for their football program. Like
100%,
students.
Yeah.
And so it's like I agree they have, amazing facilities, food, getting their school paid for, but at some point they're bringing in so much money, like from tailgating, from concessions, from gear, so many different avenues of, revenue that I feel like they should be paid from it. But yeah, that
should be like a cap to it.
Yeah,
though.
no, it is kind of
like
crazy.
You can make $100,000 a year, no more than that. Because now you see with that Nico Lamaliva, he's at Tennessee. They make the college football playoff. And he wants $4 million, and Tennessee says go kick rocks.
Yeah, that's where.
And so now he's settled for way way at UCLA, and his brother was at Arkansas, and he transferred too.
Really?
And just like. The whole like, oh man, I love Arkansas. I'm ready to die for you guys. And then 6 months later, you're fucking leaving.
That's the part where I can empathize with. Is that you want to have loyalty, and it makes it that much sweeter when you have the loyalty to a team and you're ride or die. Like you said, Tim Tebow, perfect example.
Yeah,
great guy too. But then it's like, the free market is going to decide what your value is, and like what you're worth. I think, and I'm not so against that at the end of the day. I mean, there's probably a lot of things that need to get worked out, but I like it. I feel like it's fair.
It does. I feel like
Debate.
It does make it a little more, feels like it makes it a little bit more competitive sometimes, but like the whole Johnny Manziel story is like so crazy too. Because when you think of like, I mean, Cal, for you, like top 3 most like transcendent college football players that you remember.
You're asking me?
Yeah. What do you feel like your list is? Just from your time that you're alive. Obviously, we can go back
I'd say Manziel. I don't know about ordering them 1 through 3, but Manziel for sure.
He was so electric.
Yeah.
Probably Marcus Mariota. That whole era of Oregon football.
Oh yeah,
especially with the jerseys.
Yeah, the jerseys. They were like the first like to be. Yeah, they were just amazing. And then probably, I don't want to say Cam Newton. He's a little bit. I mean, I was a little bit young for that.
Natty.
Cam Newton.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say
Beast.
Tim Tebow was probably my favorite college football player. I mean, I read his book. He had a little biography that I read.
Nice.
But yeah.
Big reader, eh?
Yeah, man, I love to read.
Yeah, Johnny Football. I mean,
Well,
that was like
he's
that
number
was
one.
like that
He's-
took over the world
yeah.
for.
Then that goes back to my original point about NIL, is he was having to go out of his own way to get paid illegally.
Yeah.
If you've watched his documentary on
Yeah.
Netflix.
Signing autographs.
I mean, he
signing
changed.
balls.
I mean, this might be a little wild to say, but he changed college football. He definitely changed A&M's entire, image and football program, everything. He put them on the map, and so
Yeah.
he's the reason they have a huge ass stadium now. I mean, they built, new stands just so
But
they
they
could
had
fit
that
100
stadium before he was there.
Yeah, they did, but I'm saying they've added stuff to it
Yeah.
to make it to what it is, and that wouldn't have been done without, his time at A&M.
Apparently,
And so-
his dad was not going behind his back, but was speaking for him to Kevin Sumlin, and was saying like, "You give us this, or we're leaving." And I mean, they had all the leverage in the world. I mean, Johnny Football was the brand,
Yes,
He
he
was.
was.
and just
God, that
All
was-
the
I wish
number
his
2
NFL
jerseys.
career worked out, man. That
Yeah.
would've been
Yeah.
awesome.
He, I'm pretty sure him and Reggie Bush are in a lawsuit with the NCAA because NIL kind of started after they finished up,
yeah,
and those 2 guys easily would have been.
yeah, very influential.
Well, I think it was because they took the
Millionaires.
Heisman away from Reggie Bush.
Yeah, they did. I think
And
they gave it back to
Yeah,
him.
I'm pretty
didn't
sure they gave it back to him
What did they take it away for?
getting paid
Yeah,
when he was at USC.
Oh, and now they're like, all right, everyone's paid. So
Yeah, it was like now that
and it was happening before NIL, right? You'd always hear about like
Oh,
bags
when I
of
was-
guys were
cash.
getting paid.
when I was at Arkansas, we were getting paid, and I was a
Yeah.
nobody. I was a nobody.
How much
And
you
dudes
getting
were
paid?
getting- I was getting like $800 a month.
You were getting a check.
Yes.
dude. Yeah,
New guys would come in. They'd go to the car lots. They'd get new cars. Boosters would
Yeah.
be taking people out, buying them shit. That was huge with Brett Bielema because he was. Everyone labeled him a player's coach because he was making sure the dudes on the team were getting what they needed.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, and I was getting free Chipotle every day. That adds up. That's a few $100.
Glory
every day.
days.
But, okay, so I wanted to ask you because me and Jack were talking about fantasy football, and they currently have, I think, Travis Hunter ranked PPR top 200 list. He's at like 40. Do you think he is actually going to go play defense and offense?
dude. I don't know.
It's
He was such a good athlete at Colorado where he was able to do it. But in the NFL, it's a totally different beast. Like, those guys are...
Like, do you see
There's-
him getting humbled?
Oh, for sure. Every rookie will. He's definitely going to play both sides. It won't be as much as you think, though. I think he's going to... I don't know what side of the ball he'll play more of. God, that's so hard because he's
He's
so
kinda
good
thin
at both.
too, though.
Yeah, but so is Devontae Smith.
And
at
he got
receiver.
hurt.
I mean,
Has
Yeah,
there
he was
been-
on my fantasy team.
Has there been any other guy who's been like a two-way guy coming into the NFL that's
Me-
Done
Deion
both?
Sanders holds the
Deion
record for, I think, 7 or 8, maybe 6 games
Start-
started
yeah,
at both
both.
sides.
yeah?
I could see him starting. It's hard to be.
it's hard
like,
to
I'm trying to think
specialize in
what
both.
would be harder to do. Like, specialize in defense, play more snaps on offense. That would probably be what he'd do. Is he'd start at corner, and then there's certain packages, personnel groups that he's on the field for in offense. And he can just be a decoy. Him just being on the field changes the way the defense will play the
Yeah.
entire snap.
I guess it also depends, too, on the quality of their team. You know, if they're
Yeah.
Jacksonville's kind of been dog shit, but they got a really good Brian Thomas Robinson.
Yeah.
Or Brian Thomas Jr., I think.
Yeah, Brian Thomas.
He's a
LSU
stud.
dude, yep.
I'm off on Trevor Lawrence. I think they should have moved off him, and they may get a quarterback next year. But
Yeah, not sold.
Didn't they? Did they still have Gabe Davis?
no, he got
Now they released
released.
him.
All right, Travis Hunter can play then. Come on
Who's
now.
their- who
Wait,
else do they
what
have?
about didn't Trayvon Diggs on the Cowboys? Didn't he play wide receiver in college? Or
For
am I
Yeah,
tripping?
Alabama?
and then he did like his freshman year, and then he got moved to
Defense.
DB. Yeah,
Yeah.
Do you think it's harder to play DB or wide receiver?
I'm biased because I don't like DBs, but I would say, yeah, playing DB is really tough.
You're not a part of DB Nation?
Nah, I
You're
don't.
just playing wide receiver, but you have to backpedal.
Yeah, you're just basically
That
guessing.
sounds difficult.
Kind of what the receiver's going to do, and then it's just a reaction game. You're just reacting.
Yeah.
And who gets paid more, DBs or wide receivers?
Receivers get paid so much. So
I
that's
heard-
another thing is, if he chooses to play DB, he won't get paid as much. Just the market value is a lot different for those positions.
Yeah, he's got to be thinking about that then.
Yeah, but he's already getting. I wonder how much
he's already
money he
making
brought in
$1
at.
zillion.
Yeah, he's already an Adidas he was an Adidas sponsored athlete like his sophomore year, junior year of college.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm not taking him on my team.
Yeah, it's too risky. Jamar Chase will be my first pick.
That's what Ben said.
Yeah, I said if you had number one pick, you're going to go Jamar.
Number one.
Number one
Like,
pick
who are the
kind of
running
sucks.
backs? Like CMC's.
So
I'm
you
not
got
getting him.
Saquon, Jameer,
Barkley.
God, yeah, I would probably go Jamar.
Saquon, Jameer, Josh
I feel
Jacobs.
like you can't go wrong with your first pick is kind of like
You're going to get a top
you're gonna
10
get
guy.
a top player. It's just deciding what position you want it at.
Yeah. You got some questions loaded up, Jack?
I got some stuff, kind of switching topics here, but I just thought about this. It was like in the grocery store. And you know how they always say, like, you go in the grocery store, you want to stay on the outskirts of the
Yeah.
grocery store
the refrigerated aisles.
where there's all the fresh food, the real food.
Oh, okay.
And
Didn't
then
know that.
I had like a weird thought. I was like, well, probably 80% of the grocery store is processed food, like the middle, like all the
Yeah.
chip aisles, the candy aisles.
The chip towers.
Dude,
These
And you-
massive displays.
and you think about it, those are getting replaced daily.
Yeah.
So like almost like 99% of the country just eats that stuff.
I feel
horrible.
bad sometimes when I walk by these people who have these carts that are just
Oh,
filled
yeah.
with, frozen pizzas and chips.
Grape Crush.
Yeah, breads and sodas.
I'll take some
And
of
you're
that.
like, what's kind of like feeding their decision-making process?
Right?
It's
Doesn't it?
probably all pleasure. Like
Dude, but,
pleasure
like,
and convenience.
That's exactly right.
Do y'all get pleasure of eating? Okay, sure. Like, there's pleasure in eating junk food, but like those same people, how do you think they feel once they're done eating?
Well,
Like,
some
there's
of these
no
people
way
are
you
just,
can feel good.
Some of them are just chronically not feeling
I know,
good.
but is
so
that
it's-
just like a constant feeling? I
I
think.
I think it is, because then I think you get used to that feeling.
Man,
It's like you don't know how bloated you are until you're already super bloated all the time, and you can't see your belly,
Yeah,
or
it's
you
just
can't
your
see your
normal
freaking
feeling.
toes.
man.
You're shitting diarrhea every time you go to the bathroom, or you're not shitting. It's
God.
just- these people are stuck in this
Yeah,
loop.
that's rough, man.
Because, you have that pizza, and it tastes really good, but then it comes back out the wrong way.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
But we get that same pleasure from eating chicken fried rice and shrimp and steak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of just switching your mentality to food is not fuel, or food is fuel versus food is pleasure.
Mhm.
That's a hard thing to do, removing
Yeah.
the emotion from it.
Yeah,
'Cause
definitely.
It's so tied together.
It
It's so
is.
tied
It
together.
is.
For sure.
That was the thought I had. I had another couple things here. Can knock off the list, but okay. So I read this article from this podcaster, Chris Williamson. Is talking about happiness versus meaning, And there's a quote that said, when someone lacks meaning in their life, they distract themselves with pleasure and short-term happiness and gratification. And then there's the reverse of that, where if someone struggles to find happiness in their life, then they place huge emphasis on meaning. And I thought about myself in that context of, like, where do I fall in there? Like, is it easy for me to let loose and just, like, sit back and enjoy something? Or I'm like, am I always thinking about the next thing? And what am I doing next? Like, what am I focused on? What are my goals? And it's kind of tricky to find that balance.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me think about, like, David Goggins. Like, he's constantly delaying the short-term gratification to the next thing. And, like, how long should you delay that gratification? Like, there's some people that, you know, they can't relax, you know? It's always next success. Mm-hmm. More money, more workouts, you know? So it was, like, really interesting. I was like, wow. There's, like, an art to having fun and enjoying the moment.
Yeah. Being present in the moment. It's big.
I feel like you're good at that, Cal.
Thank you. Yeah. I don't want to toot my own horn, but there is, like, something, as I've gotten older and matured a little bit, not that much, but just a little bit, just trying to embrace moments like this, moments where you're with family, friends, and understanding that, you know, we're not on this world forever, which is kind of a hard concept to grasp for me personally. But just trying to enjoy the moment and not worry about what's going on outside of where you're at currently, you know, not...
Yeah.
And I say this, but I still do it. Not checking your phone every, 5 minutes, whatever. Just trying to, be present with the people that you're with. And, a lot of distractions on the phone and stuff like that kind of hinder that sometimes. But just trying to have that mindset and kind of those things to keep your happiness.
What do you feel about it, Ben?
No, I mean, I agree. I think I feel like I go back to the phrase of, like, making a world smaller. Finding more meaning through making a world smaller and eliminating distractions. Because I think some people don't, the ones that are maybe so go, maybe don't realize that a lot of the stuff that I guess maybe their inputs and their outputs are unnecessary. Like 20%. I don't know what the number would be, but there's a lot of things that I feel like we do that maybe could just make life a little bit more simpler, a little bit more palatable. But yeah, for me, it's been like, just how can I make my world smaller and focus on the things that are in front of me and the things that are going to be there long term versus chasing kind of like the short term gratification of, chasing the feeling, chasing the pleasure versus just being calm, cool, and collected and just navigating your own path and flow.
Yeah. I feel like it's definitely a balance of finding that where we can enjoy a golf day, crack a couple White Claws.
Yeah.
And enjoy that. But then at the same time, we could still train tomorrow.
Yeah.
We can still eat healthy. And that's... Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's something I've gotten a lot better at is I would miss out on a lot of, like, events or activities just because I was so, like, I don't want to go do that because it'll delay my gains or... something in a specific category instead of just being like, okay, this is something I'm going to do for a couple hours of one day. Like, I need to be able to enjoy that moment and then get back on to, whatever I was at.
I feel like that's a skill too, because I know for me, I've definitely done that where I'm like, you know what, like, I need to be in bed at 9 because I need to wake up at this time to get my workout in so that I can be very productive at work, and then I need to eat food and I need to, like, keep that schedule because that's when I feel most productive.
Yeah.
But then it's like, all right, well, there's this really fun opportunity. It's going to kind of take you out of your rhythm. But I feel like that's experience finding the way to get back towards, lock back into the train tracks of what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like you almost kind of have to earn those moments.
Yeah.
It's like, because there are times where it's like, all right, I got to get my shit together. And, like, this is essential to me getting that 1% better. Versus you may need to kind of access a little bit more of your social life and hanging out a few hours with some friends can really recharge you
Oh,
more than
yeah.
you think to keep
Yeah.
moving forward. And I think sometimes we get caught up in our own minds thinking that, man, this is really going to take away from everything that I'm building, when it's actually kind of the opposite.
Right.
And probably just your approach to it, the outlook of it.
Yeah.
Like even that trivia night, like, yeah, we were out there late and, you know, had a little bit of wine. And
Mm-hmm.
but if you just think in terms of meeting new people and having a different experience, like, to me, that completely outweighs the idea of, man, I'm not going to get 8 perfect hours of sleep the next night.
Yeah, I
I feel like
agree.
you gotta be okay with that, because if you're not, then people are going to want to spend time with you.
Yeah, nobody's going to be around
Because
you.
you're going to be the one, man, I got it. You're always checking your watch, you're always looking
Yeah.
ready to leave. And
Mhm.
I personally don't like spending time with people who are like that, because it's like I'm making the same commitment
Yeah,
that you are.
it doesn't seem like they're valuing your time at all. Definitely.
Yeah, that's the worst when you're in it with someone and they're kind of just not there.
Yeah.
But
And a perfect example of what you're just talking about, Ben, is that weekend when we went to Chicago over Christmas break.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
Like we were, I mean, I'm pretty sure we only ate pizza and drank beer for 3 days straight. And imagine you're that guy that's like, man, like, I don't know if I can eat pizza today. Like, I really need a grilled option or a fucking salad. Like, that would probably piss me off if you were to say that.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
it's
we'd
like,
have to
dude,
beat
just
that
like
guy up.
enjoy the moment, man. Like, you're gonna get back. Like, that didn't make us fat or anything. Like, sure, we
Maybe a
felt
little
we
bit.
felt we felt terrible, but it's just like those are the things you do. Like, you enjoy the time that you're doing that stuff, and then get right back to it.
Yeah.
I liked what you said though. It's like you have to earn it though,
Yeah, gotta earn it,
because
and we did.
we did
Sure
earn it.
earned
We
it.
trained, because those sorts of like pleasurable things, like going out and having a beer and eating pizza or whatnot, staying up late, they're like almost sweeter when you've earned them.
Oh yeah, makes it just so much.
You're like, I'm
nicer.
so locked in. I've got to work out 5 times a week. Let's
Yeah.
fucking have a good time.
Let me
Yeah,
let me
dude.
throw my feet up for a little bit. And
Exactly. That's what life's about.
yeah.
I love you guys.
Love you too, man.
But another thing this guy said that was profound. It was like, should we like actually envy the successful people like we normally do? Like if you think about like these rich CEOs or athletes, and we're like, damn, I wish I was them, like, and all this stuff. Like, you don't realize like they fucking had to like suffer to get to that point.
Yeah.
Like, what happened to that guy that made him want to grind, like, all night and become, Dana White, the CEO of the UFC? Like, what happened to him where it's like, that side of it's, like, not really talked about that much. It's more like, oh, wow, he's so successful. He's got all these people in his life and puts on a great production. He's rich.
You don't understand the hours.
Dude
of
doesn't sleep.
sacrifice. Yeah. Yeah, I think Tom Brady is always like the perfect model of like just overcoming maybe not like a huge obstacle, but just like the guy has the ultimate success and has won so many championships. He's this great person, businessman, and it's like all we see is that, and he's attractive, he looks good, he's healthy, and he's
Yeah.
had these attractive women in his life, and so you're, man, like I can get there if I do X, Y, and Z, when we really underinflate like how much he's poured into building something like that.
And how it's affected, his personal life.
Yeah.
Like having the divorce happen. It's like he's so locked in.
Yeah, but she cheated on him.
Well, because he wasn't
Oh.
there for her.
So I actually read something interesting. It was these veterans were talking about the influence of Match.com and how
The dating app?
the dating app, yeah, like one of the first dating apps out there,
Yeah.
dating sites, I guess, and how that screwed over so many veterans, because a lot of these veteran wives or girlfriends, while their husbands were gone overseas, would, be getting people on Match.com and cheating on their partner
Mm.
while they're
It's
overseas.
terrible.
And yeah, it
Terrible.
was kind of interesting. I was like, man, I never heard someone kind of like pinpoint one specific thing as like an outlet for bad behavior.
I've heard of that. Like, that's really common.
Yeah. I mean, imagine you're fucking fighting in Iraq. 4-year tour. Come back home and see your girl. You got your picture in your chest. You're on the plane. You come back and
She's
pair of
already.
boots at the front door.
Wow, it kicks you out of your own house.
That's when there's what do they call it? Involuntary manslaughter.
Yeah. That would be
Because it's like you understand, if you catch your girl cheating on you with a guy, it's like you're in a different state of mind.
Yeah.
And if you kill that guy, it's not the same as pre-planning a murder.
Yeah, it's not murder necessarily.
So it's okay.
It is.
Just kidding.
Yeah. But dude, I'm getting roasted by the sun.
Yeah, I'm sweating.
That feels good.
Yeah.
So, real question is, have y'all ever been cheated on?
Gah!
To my knowledge, I've never
Yeah,
been cheated
me
on.
either.
Nor have I ever cheated on anyone.
Agreed.
Yeah, I've never cheated on anyone. Like, if we want to define what cheating is, like if you're on a break.
No.
Yeah, I don't really believe in breaks.
I don't believe in breaks.
I think
Yeah.
you're either together or you're not.
Yeah, so then in that case, no.
Yeah. All right, let's
Next
get the polygraph.
Yep.
Yeah. Cheating, I wonder if there was like a stat. Do you think cheating has become more mainstream? Like, do you think it's happening more than it was maybe 15 years ago?
Who knows, man?
I don't know. I feel like
Is cheating like sending DMs to someone? Like,
yes. So
Yeah.
here's the thing. I've heard some, relationship guys talk about this. So
Yeah, pull up your Instagram right now.
okay. But so like for a girl that's in a relationship with a guy, and that guy goes and cheats on her, has sex with another girl, and then she finds out and she's heartbroken. And the guy comes back to her, and he wants to get back.
It's like, I won't do it again. I promise.
It was just sex. It wasn't
Oh,
emotional. Versus like, I feel like I've heard that girls are more upset if you have like an emotional connection with another girl versus
so they would
just
rather
the
you
one
just
time.
have sex with a girl versus.
But if you think about
4
it,
hours talking on the phone with
it's
them.
literally the opposite for the guy. It's like a girl's got a really good connection with another dude. Okay, that's upsetting, but it's not.
yeah.
If she fucks him, then it's like, all right, you're done.
Yeah.
you're
Like-
you're dead to me.
Could you ever let someone back in your life if they cheated on you?
Absolutely not. Never.
What if they were drunk?
I don't
No matter.
care.
Not now, but like I think about if you're in like 20-year relationship with someone, and then it happens.
Yeah,
like,
I
what are
don't
you gonna
even wanna
do?
think about
You have
that.
kids. Are you just gonna throw away that all?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a tough situation to say the least.
I mean,
Yeah, that's
take it to
rough.
court. She's the one that cheated. You get custody of the kids.
You don't want to go to court though. It's,
I mean, sometimes you have to, though. A lot of
Yeah,
these things
gotta do
need
what
to
you
be
gotta do.
solved through like a legitimate mediator, or if people have prenups. There's legality involved for sure.
Mm-hmm.
it's definitely like a weird realm. It's
Yeah.
like we're all animals at the end of the day, and it's like if someone can jump ship to a better ship. It's like,
Yeah, but
what's
there's
stopping
there's a right way of doing that.
them? You're right. Yeah.
You got to communicate.
Yeah.
Got to confront.
Can't just jump ship. You gotta let your partner know you're jumping ship.
And then burn that shit.
Yeah. Burn it to the ground.
So yeah, we didn't do a podcast last Saturday, but I went to the zoo
Oh yeah.
last weekend. Yeah, we called you on the way over there,
Mhm.
and kind of provided a little bit more insight on the 100 men versus one
Oh,
large
yeah.
silverback gorilla.
This is the dumbest thing ever.
And then Forrest, what's the guy that did the Nelk Boys thing?
Forrest Galante.
Forrest Galante commented on it, and he said that the men would win. And he's a
No way.
marine biologist or a wildlife
Is that dude that
biologist.
let him into like the big zoo in like
yeah, in
Asia or
I
India?
think it
Yeah.
was in India. He said that endurance would be the main contributor. That over time, yeah, it's going to probably blow through the first 50 men, and then after that, it's going to get a little tired.
That's my thing. It's like I've never seen a gorilla. Gorilla is an apex predator. Like
Yeah,
I've
Definitely.
never seen a gorilla get killed, and so without being killed by a human, like with a gun. So if it's just a
Yeah.
fist fight, like are you just punching him in the face
I think
until
people
he?
don't realize that, like,
Yeah,
the
there's no way.
muscles are. It's pretty much like a steel beam.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
You're not gonna break its skin. You're not gonna grab its arm and pull it.
So what are you going? Like, what is the objective as a human? Like, if it's a one-on-one fight with you and the gorilla, what are you like?
It's
what
not
are the
one-on-one.
weak okay, I'm just saying. What are the
100
weak points on the gorilla that you could potentially attack? Like
I mean,
the throat?
try to poke its eyes out.
Yeah, you would have to get primal.
That would be good. Blind them.
You got to
Blind
it.
them. Yeah, I think you
Maybe
got to go
rip
for the
its
face.
ear off.
You like pull apart his nuts.
Jack's gonna be
Yeah.
fingering it.
God. Glad that's where your mind went first.
No, dude, I saw this video.
Chimpanzees will rip your nuts off.
Saw this video of this dog fight in like Britain, and there's
Dog
these dogs fighting. Yeah, and this guy runs over and literally starts fingering the butt of one of these dogs. Yeah,
I
it's like,
heard about this.
to get off.
And it stopped, right?
It
I don't
stopped?
think so. And
I
the
heard
dog
it
was
stopped.
He just got.
Oh, God.
You see his pants go.
Boing.
Yeah, but I saw.
Ew,
that and I
that's
was like,
fucking
what the
gross.
hell?
The guy at my office was talking about that video. He said that the dog stopped.
Really?
Yeah, it's a technique. It's
I'm
like
not using that.
Yeah, I'm
Well
not
done.
fingering a dog.
So you think the gorilla would lose or win against 100 men?
The other side is take the average male. Like we're thinking about like us. Like we're strong, we're stronger. I mean, still nothing in comparison to these 600-pound silverbacks, but
Yeah.
like if you take the average person that you see on the street, 5'8", 165 pounds, 175 pounds,
Yeah, so jack size.
jack size, they're not winning.
Blasphemy
Like, they're
over
not
here.
even getting close. Like one arm thrust will probably break a bunch of bones. These people won't be
Yeah.
able to recover.
Crack a skull, concussed.
Yeah. So like I'm
They'll go sit in the
putting my
corner.
money on the-
Yeah. Wait
Go
for
to timeout.
play dead. That's a good strategy.
Yeah.
I'm putting my money on the gorilla. Because when you, I guess going back, like, when you're watching this thing move,
Oh my
I mean, it's a tank. It's so big. And I don't think people truly realize how big these things are. It's like 700 pounds. It can lift 4 times its body weight.
Okay.
It can jump. It can swing. It has 4 active limbs. Like, we can't grab things with our feet. It'll snag you with your feet and tear you apart.
So
that your armor?
Yeah, that's another question. What is the setting? Like, are we in his natural habitat? Like, where's the fight taking place?
it's in an octagon. And no, the thing, what would you say if the gorilla had to start face down and all the 100 guys can get in a position and we're like grabbing its neck and we're ready to
No.
hold? It's
No.
like, go.
No, what would happen is the
That'd be a better
gorilla's on
shot.
one side, the men are on the other. Timer starts.
Gorilla, easy. I hope I get killed first. Just a foot right to the head.
It's gonna headbutt you. It'll split your freaking noggin open.
I'll split your noggin too.
I'm gonna be in the back.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for my opportunity.
I'm waiting until he gets there about 75 people to.
What if you act
Start
like
my
a
attack.
female gorilla?
Kel
Wants to
starts
mate.
twerking over there.
Why am I getting put into this
It
category?
starts mating, and then you go kill it from behind.
And then Ben comes and fingers his butt.
That's our strategy.
My guys, get it. That's jits.
You do it, not me.
It's just Ben. Nobody else is there.
The gorilla's like, huh?
It's like, oh, I kind of like that. Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, the zoo was a good time.
Yeah.
A lot of cool animals.
Unhinged.
Do you
Yeah,
feel
that's
bad for
off
the
the
animals?
leash. Yeah, you do. And, I don't know the research on the zoo and their quality, how good of a quality they take of their animals, but the ultimate reality is this is not their natural environment.
Yeah.
So, I think sometimes, we have an emotional connection to animals and we feel bad when animals are struggling and where they die or they look
Mhm.
starved. But it's, it's the natural pecking order.
Yeah,
It's
it
like
is.
You just kind of
Yeah.
have to accept that some of these things are meant this way. Now, does that mean let's go to the Congo and start tearing down fucking acres of trees? And no, of course not. And that's,
Yeah.
I think, the reason why zoos are so popular, because they're eroding their natural environment. So then they have to go into civilized areas where they're getting hit by cars, they're
Yeah.
Yeah.
breaking into places, and then we got to kill them. And so humans have fucked it up for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind
As
of
we always do.
our worlds are colliding with their worlds, but
it's-
they do a lot of studies on them in the zoo.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get a lot of research, and I feel like a lot of those zoo animals are born in captivity, and so that's all they've known.
Yeah.
Which I
Mm.
mean,
You can't.
I
release
guess
them back
makes
out, they'd
it.
probably
I guess
die.
makes it better.
Yeah.
Um,
Do they have that instinct like, wow, I should be hunting right now.
Especially if they're endangered.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like, okay, let's gather a few. Let's make sure they're healthy.
Yeah.
Let's repopulate a little bit.
definitely.
The worst thing, and you showed me it, was the bald eagle in a cage.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
that's
like
literally the worst possible thing. It's the freedom bird.
Yeah,
And it's in a fucking
well,
cage.
Was it injured or is that the zoo?
No.
Is that
it
the
was
zoo?
at the zoo. Like in a cage, probably like from this around. Like not very high either.
Man,
That was us 4 years ago. We're the
Yeah.
caged bird.
The cage bird.
Now we can fly and
Yeah.
tweet freely,
And post on the X.
yeah, thankful.
anonymously.
What do you feel like? Have you ever thought about like what your spirit animal is?
I feel like I've been asked that so many times. I don't think I have one.
Cal's like a
I am my own
meerkat.
spirit, or like a weasel.
Jack would be.
I got some animals tattooed on
Jack
me.
would be like a koala
All right. guys.
or an anteater.
I could see myself as an owl
Yeah, you are quite wise.
or an eagle.
Yeah, I feel like
Definitely,
an owl.
definitely a bird.
Yeah, I've got a lot of birds on me. Got a pelican, eagle.
Yeah. So
owl.
what's the symbol behind the pelican? I remember you told me one time, but I can't
The
remember.
pelican's like a good versus evil
Mm.
tattoo, where it's it's like a famous symbol, but it's a pelican that's bleeding out of its chest, and it's got its baby pelicans below, and it's feeding the blood of itself to the pelican babies. So
Wow.
there's a lot of comparisons to Jesus Christ and humanity below.
Hmm.
Like he's gonna be on the cross and
Yeah.
sacrifice himself for everyone. And then the snake below it that's on my calf, that's wrapped up the tree, that's trying to kill the humanity, the babies, is Satan.
Insane.
And so good versus evil, and
I got you.
high versus low. So
Hmm.
a lot of
Nice.
symbology. The calf, got a little bit of the calf done. Hurts the most.
I
It's
bet.
just so sensitive.
Like right in that little like pocket right there.
I
Yeah.
mean, I was, bad.
Did you cry?
Oh, I had this it's called gum of the gods. Have you heard of it?
It's like some thick gum.
It's like, what's it
Something
called?
like bite on almost.
Yeah, and it's like
Just
from
wear a
these
mouthpiece.
trees. I needed a belt. But you're just like munching on this gum, like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And then they put numbing cream at the end, and it was a weird sensation because you can feel every it's like vibrating your skin, and it's like dragging, scratching your skin, but you don't feel any pain.
Wow.
It's kind of gross, but
I
What,
had a similar thing with numbing. It was like a spray. It was really like hairspray almost, and
that's what they did. Yeah.
It was like I had a PRP injection on my knee, and they literally just like sprayed my knee with numbing spray or whatever, and they like were going in with a needle onto my patella, and I'm like watching it on the ultrasound, but I can feel like the pressure of the needle. And like the procedure was pretty much like to stab the patella tendon as much as you could, make it bleed, to like create a healing response. And so here I am on the ultrasound watching it, just this like 20-inch needle going into my knee. Just it was gross. It was a weird feeling
Jeez.
for sure.
Yeah, no thanks.
So you can feel the pressure, and it probably hurts so bad.
Yeah, it's kind of trippy.
is trippy.
Wait, Ben, what's your spirit animal? I could see you as a bull.
Well, that is the Taurus.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my birthday's tomorrow.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
Happy early birthday.
Turning
Happy early birthday.
26. Probably my third life. I bet I'm a third of my way through life.
Third? You mean a quarter?
By then we'll have some sort of technology that keeps you alive forever.
Yeah.
Neuralink.
I don't know. I don't know. 80 feels weird. Turning 80. I don't know if I'll make it there.
Yeah, those
Gotta stay positive.
those energy drinks are gonna catch up with you real soon.
Yeah,
Me
so
included.
I'm trying to decide. Mickey asked me, she's like, what are some things that you feel like you could change going into a new year? And so I've been thinking about it, and I'm still thinking about it. I got a few more hours until it's set in stone. I don't know. I'm gonna think about it while I'm standing over my tee shot.
That's good.
Nice.
But what are some?
mind
Because you're
distracted.
27.
Maybe.
Yeah, we know.
We got unks over here.
Yeah, I feel like for me personally, my birthday comes December 30th, so it's at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And I've always had a weird feeling on my birthday where I'm just kind of like, at the end of the year in general, you kind of reflect on the year and think about what's next.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a huge reflection point. And kind of goes back to what we were talking about, like enjoying the moment stuff, where I'm like, I don't want to like do anything for my birthday. I kind of just want to start January 1, like, you know, peak form and kind of what I want to do that year. But as you get older, it's kind of, the birthdays become less and less important.
Yeah.
And I think for my life now, it's just about like having my routine just dialed.
Yeah.
And some of the goals that I have, just trying to head towards the mountain. Sometimes there's little plateaus on the mountain. Stop off and take a water break, or sometimes you fall down the mountain. Sometimes you die.
You jump off the mountain.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like keep learning for sure. Like I want to add more certifications. My professional skill set, keep making my world smaller, keep playing golf. Like I kind of took 2 or 3 years off of golf.
Yeah.
And now, definitely since I've been back home, we've been playing relatively consistent. So
let's freaking do that. I love
just keep
playing.
golf.
Golf is
Keep better in
awesome.
that.
About to
Keep
play
up with my
18.
health. Yeah. And then probably start dropping off some of the stems. Less energy drinks, more espresso,
Yeah.
less nicotine, more sunlight.
Good.
There you go.
That's good.
So, but yeah, I'm excited for it. It's crazy how fast. I mean, I remember being 22, and it felt like it was yesterday, you know. And so, it's also, I think, the perception of age. Like we think we're getting really old,
No, dude.
and it's like we can be in our prime until 50.
Yeah.
You know, so
If you do it right.
definitely like staying in motion, because that's probably like one of the things that bothers me the most was when I hear older people specifically talking about like their health and their functionality and their movement. They're like, when you get to my age, you know, things just get that much harder. And there's certainly truth to the aging process, but a lot of people didn't do shit for 20 years.
Yeah.
That's
And
right.
they're like, now I'm going to start up again at 58. And it's like, so just staying in motion, constant
Yeah.
motion. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be an exciting year.
Agreed.
2-6, the year of the
The
Taurus.
2-5. Last year we were in Nash Vegas for your birthday.
Yep, we were in Nashville for my birthday last year.
Yep.
Yeah, I've had some good birthdays. I think we did Topgolf,
We did.
and then we went out for a little bit. Yeah, I try to blur out some of those memories a little bit,
I don't blame you.
but no.
That's good.
Ready?
Well, let's see
Time
how
to go
long,
hit the links.
how long have we been going?
I think it's about 11.
Oh, dude, I gotta pee.
Yeah, I can barely read it. It's so dark, but yeah, let's call it.
Let's call it.
Nice.